Hey everybody, Neil here. Jersey Concept Friday. It's time, okay? We've got City Connect jerseys. That's the series today by Drew. We've looked at lots of his work in the past, even recently on the channel, and it's been so good. So he's come out with a City Connect series or a Cities series, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter to me, but jerseys inspired by a city theme. It could be an industry-related thing. Maybe it's a people-related thing. I'm not exactly sure. It could even be flag-related. I have no idea what these are going to look like. I just know what the series entails, basically. This is a reaction video. You've not seen these, and I've not seen these. So let's jump in. Let's have fun on this Friday. And if you're watching this not on a Friday, I hope you're having a good day. Let's bring these up, starting off with Anaheim. Sorry, just going to bring this up. Okay, there we go. And wow. Okay, so I guess I wasn't expecting this for Anaheim because it wasn't exactly like in my mind in terms of city. So I guess maybe to me this maybe kind of misses the mark a little bit, but he's got a little a thing written up here. So he says, a jersey that pays homage to the 1992 The Mighty Ducks movie, which is how the team got their name. I will be honest, it's been a long time since I watched that movie. It's a great movie. It's just been probably about 15 years since I watched it. So I should probably go back and watch it. I mean, I like the jersey. It's an amazing jersey, and it would be really cool if they did something like this. It just doesn't speak city to me. The next one is Boston Bruins. So you've got the state. I can't pronounce it. Massachusetts. It's just I can't pronounce that word. I don't know why. Anyways, he says this jersey represents the historic importance of Boston and the American Revolution. So the text on the front is not something that I would like. However, I actually kind of like it in this instance because it's not a long word. I also like the font that's chosen, and additionally it's supported by colors that are really beneficial to it kind of being there, which is off-white with a black background. Pretty classic, pretty original six kind of vibes here, but it's a little bit spicy because you've got those stars just in the back on the shoulders and the top of the arms there. I actually kind of like this jersey. It's got some colorization in the striping and the arms too. As a kind of an alternate, I would be definitely okay with this. Let's move on though. The Buffalo Sabres. So I can tell right away without even reading anything. I'll just kind of block the text on my screen. This is kind of inspired by the city flag, at least the logo. If you've not seen the city flag, it's kind of has these like spikes and stars and stuff on it. But let's see what he says. Winter warning, a jersey that resembles the Arctic conditions of the Sabres home. So definitely color-wise, but that imagery around the logo is from the city flag, which might be based on the Arctic winds that come in or Arctic conditions. I think he's really talking about the lake effect that happens, which is basically dumping of snow on Buffalo because of where it's situated around the Great Lakes. A system moves in, collects all the moisture from the lake, and then dumps it as snow onto Buffalo and surrounding areas. So it can get pretty cold and get pretty deep with snow in Buffalo. But I like the jersey. It's really cool, actually. I think there's maybe a little bit too much like frost texture in this section in the bottom. I think it's just a little bit too prominent. I think if it was more subtle, it might look a little bit better. But I do really like the jersey. It's pretty cool, and it does make sense from a city perspective. Next, the Carolina Hurricanes. Rather than using any red, this jersey uses shades of gray to represent the storm. Yeah, okay. I guess I don't necessarily think gray when it comes to a storm, but kind of, I guess, when the clouds. I just think like rain and like blue, like a blue tones, I guess, for example. Not so much gray, but I completely understand what he means. I mean, when the storm does come in, it's it's quite a lot of gray, some blacks even, but I'm kind of missing some blue tones in here. I think if you did add some, maybe you could add it in the stripes or maybe the neck or something. I don't mind the gray in the jersey and on the sleeves and even the texture back there. It's not too bad. The logo could maybe do without, but maybe just a little bit of blue in here somewhere. Moving on, Columbus Blue Jackets. Ooh, I like this already. I haven't read anything, but I like it. Directly inspired by the uniforms worn by the Union Army of the Civil War, this jersey represents the team's namesake. I need to make this bigger on my screen. The text is just really small for me. 1 second. Okay, so absolutely. That like this screams like location, not necessarily city. So it works, but it also kind of doesn't for me at the same time. Like when I think Columbus, I don't really think of the Union Army in the Civil War. I mean, I'm not from the area, so it's not something that's running through my mind prominently. Maybe people who do live here Maybe they think about that all the time. I don't know. But when I think City Series, I think of something maybe a little bit more recent in history or relevant in terms of the economy or industry or what's going on today. Maybe not necessarily something super, super historic like this, which the brand kind of already is in a way, I guess, if you think about it. I really like the jersey a lot. I think it is actually fantastic. I love the shoulder patches. That is amazing. I love the Ohio State flag and the inside of the collar as well. I like the off-white pushing more towards gold than off-white. I think that's actually a really good decision. It matches well with both tones of the blue. Great jersey. Great jersey. Next, the Calgary Flames. Interesting. A jersey that represents the old Western culture of Calgary and the Calgary Stampede. So the Calgary Stampede is a huge, huge thing in Canada. Well, I guess maybe Alberta and the West in general, not so much where I live in Atlantic Canada, but definitely out west and specifically in Calgary, obviously. A lot of cowboys out there. It's basically the Texas of Canada, Alberta is. And it's a pretty big deal, and it's a very cool event as well. Now, this jersey does represent that and symbolize it pretty well. So I actually like this jersey. I like the off-white that was chosen, almost more of like a creamish. I can see some like clayish, almost green in here as well. I like the font chosen specifically. That is exactly what it should be. Inside of the neck is pretty cool as well. So actually a really good jersey. Next, oh, cool. Chicago Blackhawks. From the Windy City nickname to the iconic flag. This jersey represents Chicago town. Absolutely love it. I wouldn't change anything about it. I love the injection of blue in there. The color, it just pops so nicely with the red and the black complementing it. This is a wonderful jersey, probably my favorite so far. It's so much different than Chicago, like traditional Chicago, which is a bit risky. But if this is a city edition jersey or a series or whatever, let's get a little bit spicy with it, kind of like the Stadium Series jerseys. So fully support this. You can see the city flag in the background there to the right, and you can see that translates well onto the jersey. Tremendous execution here, Drew. Next, okay, Colorado. From the iconic Rocky Mountains to the colors, this jersey represents what Colorado is all about. Now, I have been so lucky recently in my life, as of last year, to drive through I guess southwestern Colorado up until Colorado Springs, and then kind of east a little bit, and it was unbelievably beautiful. I've dreamed for so long of visiting Colorado, and I finally was able to, and it did not disappoint. So this jersey absolutely speaks to Colorado. I think it is very on point in terms of a city edition jersey. Well done. If I was going to be critical of anything, it might be the, I guess, mountain texture, rippage almost from the stripe. It's a little strong. It's a little bit strong, so I might kind of subdue that a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what I would do. It's also repetitive. You can kind of see the same like mountain copy and pasted. I might make it a little bit more dynamic and a little less copy and paste, but it's pretty cool. I like the jersey a lot. Love the colors. Next is, okay, I kind of saw this one coming. I think we all did. The Dallas Stars. The Stars is Texas team, and the jersey pays homage to the iconic flag of the state. Yeah, Texas flag is amazing. This jersey is amazing, and I cannot imagine Dallas doing anything other than this. Now, technically, it's the entire state that's being represented, and not necessarily Dallas, which is weird because it's called a city. But I mean, it's Texas, so this completely makes sense to me. I don't know what else you would do for Dallas in terms of a city edition jersey, so this is very logical. And I guess maybe that same logic applies to Columbus as well. Maybe it was a little bit too harsh on the Columbus decision there. But anyways, let's move on. Detroit. Wow, this is not what I was expecting. A bold jersey to represent the toughness and grit of Detroit. Well, Detroit is a tough place. There's unfortunately a lot of crime there and a lot of hardship, I guess you could say. But the jersey itself is a weird mix of like modern and classic. Like if you look in the middle of the jersey, you've got that logo kind of in using the NHL shield in a way with the D in there. That feels very old school, very classic. But the rest of the jersey is so modern that it's almost clashing, not necessarily in a bad way, but just in like you just notice it. And I think it's fine except for the stripe in the background. I like the horizontal stripes in the arms. It's almost like a stage gradient as well, which is cool. And in the bottom of the jersey. But then this like vertical stripe that's in the background just loses it for me a little bit. It does look like tire tracks, kind of. But I would just kind of remove that. The rest is actually okay. Next, the Edmonton Oilers. This jersey pays homage to the home of the Oilers, Rogers Place. So if you've not seen the arena, you're not really going to get this correlation to the colors being chosen. But the arena I guess if you can see it up there. Geez, I'm so focused on the jersey, I'm not even looking at the outside graphics. You can see it up above. It's like this big giant spaceship of silver and metal and aluminum or whatever it is. It's so pretty in person. So he's kind of translated that shine and glimmer and that silver onto the jersey, and I think it actually looks pretty good. I don't know how it would be replicated in terms of, you see how like the light just plays off differently on the silver in this specific template. Like I'd like to see a physical version of this, because if it just looked like a gray stripe, it might not translate too well. Maybe you put the metal fleck texture that you get in the LA alternate jersey, same texture in the Vegas jersey. Maybe that would look okay. I'm not sure, but it's cool. It's a nice jersey. It's cool. Florida Panthers, saw this one coming. South Florida is a place filled with vibrant art and great culture. This jersey tries to replicate that, and it does a great job. I like the logo a lot, actually. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know about the tape on the stick. I'm trying to look at the negative space to see if I'm, maybe not seeing anything. And on the top of the stick as well, I might change that because it just looks like a mistake almost. But the rest of the jersey is really cool. The texture in the striping is maybe a little bit much, but it's very good. LA. Well, we've got, look at that. Same kind of colors, purple and the gold. This jersey represents the vibrant sunsets and vibes of the City of Angels. Absolutely. This is definitely screaming. I guess maybe specifically California, which you can kind of see that in the back of the neck. Beautiful colors, beautiful jersey. Not my first choice at a logo. I would use something else if I'm completely honest, but I like the modern vibes of this for sure. Ooh, look at this, Minnesota. Minnesota is known for amazing Northern Lights views, and they are the land of 10,000 lakes. These elements are represented here. I really like the gradient that's happening here. I think that is pretty powerful in a way. I don't know how it would translate in a jersey, but at least this concept looks pretty cool. I'm definitely getting Columbus Blue Jackets vibes from this. You've got blue kind of on the shoulder here, running down to this white stripe coming down, almost like a pinstripe, but a thicker version. And then kind of a star, but it's not, but it is. It's pulled from the logo, as you can see in the middle. I like the logo being recolorized. I like black as the primary, and how that green kind of just like fades into the black. That's very cool. Very reminiscent of Northern Lights, because it's all one big gradient kind of moving around. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, good job. Moving on, the Montreal Canadiens. Wow. Vibrant colors to represent the vibrant city of Montreal. An oversized globe logo draws the sleeves to represent the international host that the city is and has been. So Montreal is a very multicultural city. I don't know if this jersey, I guess, kind of represents that. Like the globe is there, but when I look at it, I think of the Epcot ball, the Disney Epcot globe or ball that's at the front of the park. I'll throw a photo up of it if you want to see. Maybe just because I was there last year and it's kind of stuck in my brain, but I would maybe go with the original kind of globe logo that the Montreal Canadiens used on the, I don't know the year, I'm not even gonna try and guess, but it was also in the arms of the Winter Classic Reebok jersey as well. It's an okay jersey. I would just probably change the globe logo. Okay, moving on. The New Jersey Devils, a jersey that pays homage to the team's namesake, the Jersey Devil of the South Jersey Pine Barrens. So yeah, New Jersey actually has a pretty cool lore around it, and it's a shame they don't utilize that more. You can see it in the logo, obviously, but the Jersey Devil is like this mythical creature that exists, and if they did a Stadium Series jersey, which I guess technically they just did recently, it would have been cool to see them expose that a little bit more, utilize that in their branding. I think they could do something really cool with the logo, or just something a little bit more spicy, where this is a nice jersey. It's got like almost an army green in there with some trees in the background. I do think this jersey actually looks very good. But if you're going to do something that's city related and like New Jersey, like mythical creature kind of, I would like to see something a little bit more less classic than this, maybe a little bit more modern. But it's really hard to kind of hate on this or dislike this at all. I really like it, and I'd be totally fine if they came out with this. Nashville Predators, a jersey that pays homage to the country music vibes of Nashville. Totally, you can see it in the striping, in the logo, and the font chosen for the C and the letters, the bottom of the jersey as well. This is actually really nice. I'm not a huge fan of the logo, like Nashville and then the 3 stars, but if you're doing like a Winter Classic or City, I guess this would be an okay option. It's definitely well executed. The theming is perfect from Drew here. Yeah, just kind of the logo for me. Moving on, the Islanders. Long Island Blues. This jersey represents the water that surrounds Long Island, as well as the dynasty of the 1980s. You can see that being represented on the sleeves, like the colored staged gradient as well. No orange, which I feel like I'm kind of missing a little bit. And the numbers for me are a miss. Everything else is totally fine. But the wavy aspect of the numbers is just a little bit too silly for me. And then the font on the inside of the jersey, it just kind of like clashes. Like if you look at the font of the numbers on the sleeves, different stylization, different font. If you look at the font in the logo where it says Islanders down below, different font, different stylization. So it just, there's clashing there in terms of kind of relationship between the fonts that already exist. So I would just choose a regular, normal, blocky font that's not wavy or anything like that. Just personal preference, I guess. Ooh, like this a lot immediately. The Rangers, a jersey that pays homage. And by the way, I say homage, but I know some people say homage. Let me know what you say down below in the comment section, but hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But anyways, a jersey that pays homage to Madison Square Garden and the bright lights within. The roof, or the ceiling, I guess more so, of the Madison Square Garden is amazing, and it's represented very nicely in this jersey because it's so subtle. White jersey, but then just a touch of gray all in there in the background. I think this is a tremendous jersey, and a bit of a gradient in the logo too. I think that's really cool in the arms, in the bottom, and the neck too. That is awesome. I really like this jersey a lot. Okay, Ottawa. Ottawa is historic itself, but is the capital of Canada, so this jersey pays homage to the country as a whole. Very Canadian, a little bit of Toronto Maple Leafs in here, a little bit of Montreal Canadiens in here. So I don't super see Ottawa, which is a bit unfortunate. It's very Team Canada. And it's like Ottawa is the capital. Completely understand what he's going for here. But when I look at this jersey, it has the top of the Parliament building in there and the logo, but this doesn't really super represent Ottawa for me. This is more of a Team Canada jersey, so I would prefer maybe something that was very specific to Ottawa. Put the Parliament building on there. That, like, I know that there's a piece of it on there, but I mean the whole thing. Maybe go with the colors that you can kind of see in the background for the Parliament building, a bit of a weathered copper green, and then that kind of brownish, kind of weathered stone look. I think that would be kind of neat. Redesign the jersey to have those colors instead of red. Maybe that would be enough. The Flyers. Okay, I don't want to read it because I know what's going on here. So it's the Liberty Bell, the crack down the bottom of it, and then this weathered look in the background, almost a bit of a grungy texture. And then the angle of the striping that's happening on the arms and the bottom, that's, I assume, to represent the shape of the bottom of the bell. And then you got some lettering here, which is probably pulled from the bell on the front of the collar. This is an awesome jersey, and a well-executed rendition of the logo is there as well. To have some of the stars kind of aligning around there, that's so good. I actually think this is definitely one of the best spicy Philadelphia Flyers concepts that we've seen, regardless of series. Usually, things are pretty set in stone for Philadelphia, or it's like kind of a stadium series alternate where it's two-tone. Not often we get something like this that's well executed, so I'm a big fan of this. Let's read what he has to say here. Past meets present. The unique colors represents the boldness of Philly, while elements like the texture, crack, and script on the collar represents the city's deep history. Absolutely. And you got the Liberty Bell in the back, inside the collar too. This is great. Great Winter Classic, great Cities edition. Okay, the Pittsburgh Penguins, Steel City. Built by toughness, this jersey resembles the toughness and steel industry of Pittsburgh. You can see it, that metal texture in the neck here, down in the arms, in the logo even. I don't know how that would be represented in a jersey, whether this section here, that's a sublimation print, and then you've got material change stitching, and then again here, this is a swatch, material change stitching here and then here. That's a lot of change, a lot of material change stitching, where this is very fluent from top to bottom. We can see not necessarily, I was going to say failures, it's not really a failure, but examples of this in the, I think it's the new Rangers alternate jersey. You kind of see that section is sublimated, so the striping is sublimated in there, so they had to print it kind of differently. I don't know how this would be executed. It's a silly argument because this is just a concept, like why am I even talking about it? But these are the things that I think about, because when I look at a concept, well, the next step is to physically produce it. So why not take it a bit serious as an actual potential design for the Pittsburgh Penguins? Why not, right? So I think that the logo is great. I think the design is great. I like the kind of stenciled lettering that's being used. I even don't mind the opposing directional striping on the shoulders that offset the arms. But I'm just worried about the texture in the background. I like the texture. I just worry about how it would be physically produced. Next, the Seattle Kraken. Very spooky in the background. I do like that. Very mystical, kind of, right next to the ocean. Got some storms coming in. Very mysterious. Whether it's the rainy skies or the pop of vibrance, the jersey represents the Pacific Northwest, home of the Kraken. Totally. I like it too. Like, so we were just talking about sublimation prints. This would have to be one, but I think it would be okay. It's very subtle, and I think it would be well received by the community as well. Okay, next, the San Jose Sharks. Being the tech center of the world, the Bay Area is full of modern and bright vibes, and the jersey represents that. It is very bright. Now, you can see that kind of silicone motherboard texture, futuristic thing in the background. We did see a little bit of that in the Adidas years in the alternate jersey, which was a very popular jersey. This takes it to another level because you're really bumping up the vibrance in the color. You're making that texture so much more visible and well known. It might be a little bit too much, but it's definitely a cool jersey. Okay, St. Louis Blues, that's pretty cool. The colors are pulled straight from the St. Louis City flag, and the striping on the arms represents the city in multiple ways. I think that the striping, although a little bit goofy, a little bit silly, kind of like the text we saw in the Islanders jersey, I think it was, it's a little bit wavy. But when it's done in a stripe and it's there to represent the flag, like moving in the wind and stuff, I think that is fantastic. I actually really like the striping quite a bit on the bottom of the jersey as well. I love the colors. I love how they're balanced as well with the Fleur de Lis logo on the shoulder, color in the neck as well. This is a great jersey. I like it. Not sold in the striping in the background, like that kind of old school pin striping, but it's pretty cool. I like this jersey. Wow, Tampa Bay. Electric blue for the electricity that Tampa and the Lightning bring. Great jersey. Very, very modern, very futuristic, a little bit like rollerblade team looking. I like to see the uniform for this. I think the uniform could be pretty cool. Not my favorite concept that I've seen from Tampa, but very awesome. I like it. Toronto Maple Leafs. This jersey represents the bright lights of the iconic Toronto skyline as well as the city flag. The city flag. What does the Toronto city flag look like? I need to look that up. Right. It's that flag. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. So you can see that represented in the arms. Nice skyline down below as well. I like the Maple Leafs logo colored like that. I think that's very appealing to me. And shoulders with the T up there, that's fine. It's a little bit dark overall, but it's pretty good. Next, wow, the Utah. Okay, from the Red Rocks to the vast mountains and blue skies, this jersey represents Utah. Not a huge fan of the logo. It reminds me of the Nashville one a little bit, but it's pretty good. Like, I love the colors. Colors are perfect. Shoulders are great. Arm striping is great. I actually really like the arm striping because there's, in Utah, just west of Salt Lake City, there's the Salt Flats. It's where they do a lot of the land speed stuff. And right along the Salt Flats is a range of mountains that splits Utah and Nevada. And depending on the time of the year, we'll say like around like late May, June, there's like a little tiny bit of water that covers the entire Salt Flats. It's only about this deep, and it's amazing because it's still. There's no movement. It's not a river. It's not a lake. There's no like tide action happening or anything like that. It's just completely still. So when you see the mountains in the background and you see the water underneath, it makes a perfect reflection, and that is represented in this in the striping here. It's a very, very cool way to represent that in striping. It's also very symmetrical too on the jersey, which I think we all appreciate. I'll throw a photo up so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. I was there in 2018. Amazing spot. I absolutely love Utah. It's incredible. I would just change the logo for the specific jersey. Sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent there. Next, the Vancouver Canucks. I see lots of texture up top. Johnny Canuck down there. So this jersey represents the natural beauty of Vancouver area, the water, the mountains, and the greenery, and so much more. So definitely nailed it with the colors. I think that's very, very good. The striping is good as well. I've never been a fan of that logo. It's okay. It's okay. Vegas, a jersey that represents the glitz, glamour, and uniqueness of Las Vegas. So it's a little bit home jersey, a little bit reverse retro in there too because there's so much red being used. The neck is pretty good. The logos has some red added. The A is a bit funky. That's all right. Wow, a total split gradient jersey here. Okay, Winnipeg. The Forks, where don't know how to pronounce that, and Red Rivers meet, was a meeting place for the Indigenous people and a key part of Winnipeg's history. It is represented in this split color jersey. I've never been to Winnipeg, unfortunately, but I'm a little bit torn. See what I did there, torn on this jersey. It's just, I think it's a little bit too different, I guess, for me. I might like it a little bit more if the transition happened north-south versus east-west, but I just prefer, I think, like a vertical split, or sorry, a horizontal split versus a vertical split like it is here. Personal preference. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this one. Wow. This must be the last one. This is Washington. This jersey pays homage to the marble that forms many of the city's monuments. This is wild, actually. Like, you've got a lot being represented in here, from the city flag in the back of the neck to the city flag in the front of the collar, the American flag there as well, stars and the stripes, the texture in the background, like you said, and then the logo. It's okay. It's a lot. It's a lot of text to put on the front of a jersey. I like the font that's being chosen. I think that's perfect. The star is okay. It's just a lot of font. I'd remove the. Just District of Columbia, I think, would be better. The is throwing me off a bit. I don't know. I'm conflicted. It's not bad. I'm just a little bit conflicted. That's it. That was wow, incredible design. Seriously, I love series like this. Looking at regular jersey concepts is totally fine, but having a series in there, that spices it up, and I like that. So there's a lot of honorable shoutouts for sure. Like the Boston one was pretty good because it's subtle. It's original 6. The Columbus one was good. That was also just a pretty jersey, regardless of series. There were so many hits in here. Like the Florida one was good. The Rangers one was good. The Philly one was good. The St. Louis one was awesome. Honestly, they're all really good. I don't know if there's anyone here that I really disliked. I think my favorite's going to be the Chicago one because, well, for I guess a couple of reasons. The first reason is it would be a great alternate because they don't have a black jersey right now. And I know a lot of people want that black alternate. So this kind of satisfies that little itch. But at the same time, it's a spicy black alternate because you're representing the city as well. And you're introducing some more color into the brand. And it also looks good. Like, this is a nice looking jersey. The color really pops off there. The logo is recolorized perfectly, in my opinion. It's the right font. It's the right balance of color from the sleeves to the front of the shoulders, the bottom. This still represents Chicago and the brand of the Blackhawks, but it also represents the city, and it gives us a little bit of spice to an original 6 team. So very well executed jersey here, in my opinion. Drew, you're a legend. Thank you for sending in so many concepts. I love looking at your work. I really appreciate that. And if you guys want to get your hands on a template to play around with your creativity, maybe you've got some ideas floating around the old noggin, you want to put it down to pen and paper, or I guess most to screen, you can go to sportstemplates.net. I can help you out a little bit there by saving you 10% to get this exact same template that you saw in this video. Use the code post-to-post. That will save you the 10% over on sportstemplates.net, and also the other jersey template too, which is over there, plus a full uniform template as well. And in addition to that, there are over 70 templates on there, some even video animated. So if you want to pick up any template on the site, make sure you use my code. I don't get any kickback from that. It just exists so you guys can save money. I always try and mention this one. There are free templates on there. So if you already have Photoshop and maybe you don't want to drop a lot of coin right now and you just want to go pick up something that's free, definitely go pick up one of the free ones and play around. Send in your stuff. There's a contest going on right now. You send in concepts from the NHL, and you can have a chance at winning a jersey, an NHL brand new Seattle Kraken jersey. I released a video a couple of weeks ago talking about that contest announcement. So I love to see your work. Send it in. And of course, thank you to my Patreon and YouTube members. There's not a lot of you, but I really appreciate your support. It allows me to do things like to give away a jersey for contests and stuff. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you to all of you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great start to your weekend. Let me know down below in the comment section what jersey of Drew's you liked the most, and maybe what one you liked the least. Maybe add some creative feedback or constructive criticism for Drew. I'm sure he reads the comments, and he's going to be designing stuff for us in the future. So thanks once again, Drew. Thanks to the viewers, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Adios.